think we all know why we're here. So we're launching the beta version of the iOS app. So for you Android people, we apologize, but this is an iOS update, not an Android update. There'll be some Android updates coming that are going to mimic as closely as possible what we've been able to do from an iOS standpoint. But 90% of our users are iOS. So that was just a really clear decision as to why we wanted to break those out and create an iOS native app. We just have a lot more capabilities in terms of intuitiveness and what we can build from a user experience and user interface standpoint. So this new app is iOS only. And it says 2.0 on this. Can you guys see my screen? Am I sharing my screen? Yeah. It says 2.0 on the screen. I'm going to call this 1.99 because we want to hedge on the 2.0, and we'll get more clear as to why that is as we go through, and why we're launching this as a beta and not completely shifting the app today. So we'll walk through what it means, how to get into the beta, how to get your clients in the beta. It's very, very easy. It's a couple clicks and you're right in there, but you'll have access to both apps. And I'll kind of walk through the beta period and expectations around that here in a second. So we're going to beta this for about 1 month. So in about 1 month, this will be completely shifted. And if you're an iOS user, you will no longer have access to the old app. It'll all be the new app, which I don't think is a bad thing because this is an upgrade. But we did want to give it about a month to really sift through any bugs or any use cases that we didn't think of. We had about a dozen people testing this thing. Now we're going to open it up to about 2,000. So keep that in mind. We have much more than 2,000 people that are actually in the app, but we're going to limit this to 2,000 testers. So get signed up and get in the beta once we wrap this call up, just so you're a part of that first 2,000 in there. So why do we want to test it? Features and user interface, we want that to be tested. And we want your feedback as well, because there's not a laundry list, but there's probably a half a dozen, maybe five to 8 things, pretty big things that we're like on the fence and including in this thing. And we just made the call. It's like, let's get feedback from the people. Let's get feedback from the people that are using it and get some, let's just call it feedback in terms of like, how do you want this thing to work? What is a good flow for you? And more importantly, what's a good flow for your clients, right? It's like our current app is very, very basic. So it was a priority for us to update this as soon as possible, but we wanted to do it in a really good way. And we didn't want to rush it out because there's nothing worse, especially if you have a bunch of clients that are paying you a premium amount of cash for it to get flipped on them like a light switch, and they don't enjoy it, or there's some things that we wish we would have done. So we're going to kind of slow play this one with the beta. All right, let's dive in. So I'm going to walk through the coach side as well as the client side. I assume we have probably all coaches on this call, so I will prioritize the coach side to kick this thing off, but I do want to walk through specifically what client experience is like, so you can share this, and our help centers will be completely updated with all of the client side, client experience pieces that are inside of it, and just clarity on how to use it and features that are inside. So on the coach side, we're going to walk through the dashboard. So we have a new coach dashboard. We're going to walk through the new client list layout. We're going to walk through notifications, messages, and then your back end coach account. So it's a lot less robust on the coach side, obviously, because there's a lot less things that we want you doing inside of the app. At this point, we don't want you inside of the app designing training programs. Just doesn't make a lot of sense to do that from your phone. I'll leave that right there. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. All right, so let's dig through the coach dashboard to kick this thing off. So on each of these screens, you'll kind of just see like an example of what this thing looks like in live action, just because we didn't want to go back and forth and show you it and then go back to slides. So that's just a visual of what this dashboard looks like. Inside of the dashboard, we have coach metrics. So this is what you're used to seeing on your web app dashboard. So it's a quick view of compliance, consultation rate, touch points. Then we have activity feed. So it's a review. It's to review and communicate with clients based on their latest activity. So it was important to us to make the coach side app more efficient from a communication standpoint. So it's like you pull this thing up, you see what's going on in your activity feed. You see your client's latest activity, and you're able to comment on that activity relative to exercise, lifestyle, and weekly check-in. All right, next we're going to dive into the client screen. Okay, so this is a view of clients based on priorities at the top. So you can kind of see it kind of scrolling through. It's like, this is the exercise due, lifestyle due, consultations that are due. So that's mimicking what you see on your web app dashboard. So you can search or scroll through the client list. You can click on a client's profile to review their exercise calendar, their lifestyle calendar. You can review their weekly check-ins. You can message them. You can view their compliance, as well as view their profile and edit their profile right there from your coach's app. All right, next we have notifications. So this one's pretty clear. This is just where you review notifications. You have the ability to filter by unread, and you have the ability to communicate through that notification window. So just think of like exercise pieces. Maybe your client commented on an exercise piece or a lifestyle piece or a weekly check-in. That's going to go ahead and go to your notification window. And then you're just using that notification window to sift through, filter by unread, and get all those unreads to read. All right, messages. So this one's pretty clear. Your ability to message clients, again, filter by unread, again, search, and you can communicate through that search window as well. So nothing too nuanced here, just basic direct messaging features. And then rolling through the account section, this is where you'll edit your profile. You can change your password. You can update that consultation link. So as a reminder, we'll walk through this when we get to the client section, but from your client side, they can book consults directly through their app, but it has to be linked externally. So you can update that through your web app, or you can just go in here and update it through your coach app. You can set your notification settings. So I want to push notification, I want emails, I want both. You can customize that to whatever best fits your workflow and save that. And then you can also switch to that client account. And then that's your client account screen that you just saw there. So keep in mind, if you are a coach and a client, that button will pop up if you share the same email. If you are using one email for your coach account and one email for your client account, CoachRx has no idea that you're the same person. So you're going to have to merge those emails. So if you're using this as a coach and client, you can seamlessly just jump back and forth between each side of the app. It was really important to us to not have two apps that you'd have to download from a coach standpoint as well as a client standpoint. All right, let's dig into the client side. Okay, so this is your daily RX from a client standpoint. So this is the same thing that we have in the current app, but the user interface is just a little bit different. So daily RX includes the date and displays the number of prescriptions on that day. Prescriptions will be outlined for exercise, lifestyle, and weekly check-in. So if there's an active prescription, it'll say the number of how many prescriptions your client has, and then that prescription will be outlined. So if there's no exercise, that dumbbell will not be outlined. If there's no lifestyle, the broccoli won't be outlined, so on and so forth. All right, next we have exercise. So this is how your clients are going to go through their training sessions. So we have a sliding calendar view this time, so we updated that. So it's just nice and easy. You switch between months and between days just by sliding back and forth. You can comment on workouts. You can view exercise history right here. You can also use it as a search function for exercise history. You can pull up those exercise videos. So that's just all of the it's the connection to the exercise library. So we have about 2,000 plugged in, and then you can plug your own in there as well. Your client hits play, that thing's going to go full screen. And then we have pagination by series. So it's like A series, B series, C series. They just swipe to the left. And then once they hit complete, they get the nice flex and the check, and then brought back to that home screen. As you go through that pagination though, realize that, and this is a benefit of iOS, everything is like layered. So all you do is swipe down really quick if you want to review the entire session or comment on the session, and then just click that edit button and it'll pop back up. So it's a really seamless interface and experience for your clients there. All right, jumping into lifestyle. So same sliding calendar view as exercise RXs. You can comment here, you can add notes, just as we currently have it set up. And then it's the same flow where it's yes or no. You can still add videos. There's Georgia talking about the importance of movement. You can still add videos. You can use our videos or just update your own. And then once your client hits yes there, they're going to get a nice broccoli sprout with that check mark, and then brought back to the homepage. All right, weekly check-ins. Again, same sliding calendar view that we have in exercise and lifestyle. So that craziness is us just hitting that week by week. Same ratings, sliders, and free text. You can still comment on the weekly check-ins. And the biggest shift here is this is probably the biggest, the most requested thing with weekly check-ins is the ability to go back and edit and view previous weekly check-ins with that slider view. You can view all of your weekly check-ins, or your clients can view all of their weekly check-ins right there through the app. Fill that thing out, hit save eventually, and then you get a nice little check mark there, and then taken back to the dashboard. All right, booking. This one's pretty clear, so just wanted to show what that looks like. It shows your client's last booking date, or when they last had their consultation. Remember, that's all reading through what you have on the web app side. So you have to actually mark that you had a consultation with that client. It shows that client when that last consultation was had. You plug in that link, that custom booking link, whatever platform you're using, whether that's Calendly, Acuity, Motion, whatever it is. You plug that thing in, and your client would just schedule that appointment right there through the app. Compliance. This one's a pretty simple one. Your client just clicks on the compliance piece. It shows their compliance by exercise and by lifestyle, and for the last 7 days, 30 days, 90 days, or all time. Just as we're here, guys, I'll share what's probably going to be the first update in the beta. So let's call it a week, maybe 2 weeks. We're going to add gamification on the client side. And what I mean by that is rewarding clients for having great compliance, rewarding clients for going X amount of days in a row where they actually complete their prescriptions. So there will be a nice little streak feature that's added to your client dashboard. And anytime that there's an exercise, lifestyle, or weekly check-in prescribed, and they complete that weekly check-in before, or that prescription before midnight their time, it gives them a nice little +1 on their weekly streak, just to incentivize clients from an app standpoint of like, oh my gosh, I have to get in this thing and I need to do my prescription. So a little carrot there, but I think little things like that are going to matter from a client experience standpoint. So that'll be the first update that goes in this beta version. Let's call it a week, week and a half that'll be in. All right, client corner. So this is where your client would update their training schedule, their equipment lists, fill out their intake form, update their progress pictures, view any documents so they can view documents shared through the organization. And remember, on your client calendar in the web app, you can add private documents just for that client. So if you added a private document, that's my progress picture. Interesting. If you add privately shared documents through that notes feature and the client side of this piece, that will all show in their documents as well. FMEs, view FMEs, progress in FMEs. You can update those FMEs directly from this screen. And you can also they can also message their coach directly through there as well. All right. Stretch run here. We are to account. So this is just this is the boring stuff. So they can edit their profile here. They can update their password. They can view billing. So past invoices, they can view those there. They can update their credit card right there. They can look at any subscriptions that they're currently in right there through the app as well. And then they can also update their notification settings. They can also direct message. So when we get to the bottom of the app there's obviously that easy piece to direct message, and realize that your clients have a notification bell. So that's a little bit different than the coach side because they have more bottom items. So that notification bell is going to be at the top right of your client's app, and that'll all be connected to push notifications. So if they have push notifications on for coach comments on a workout, that'll go into their notification bell, and then they would clear through that. All right, so beta, how to get into this thing. So we're going to share the link. I think George is going to drop it in here, and it'll also be in an email that Georgia and the team will share post this webinar. So you're just going to use that link to join the beta. You're going to follow the instructions that are displayed through that link. You're going to use the app. So we're also going to give you a little snippet to share with your clients, to send it out, to give your clients instructions and how to get into the beta, because we want to make that as easy as possible for your clients to get in as well. And we want you to give feedback through the beta button or the beta feedback button in the account section. So I'm just going to play this video again. If you click account, this will be on the coach or client side, you'll see this beta feedback button. It's just going to take you to this very simple form. You're going to fill out your email address. You're going to let us know, is this on the coach side, the client side, or both? Then you're going to give us your feedback there and submit, and then we'll do the rest. Okay, so get in this thing. We're excited to get everyone in, but the most important thing from our standpoint is for us to actually get feedback, because over the next month, we want to refine the heck out of this thing. So it's exactly what we want to push out as an official version 2.0 before we remove the current version from your clients. I will end it there.
Fantastic. Thank you, Carl. So guys, go ahead and get in that beta version if you are already a CoachRx user. We will have an email coming out right after the call with instructions and communication that you can share with your clients to get them in there as well. For those, because I know there are a few people on the call today that aren't yet inside of CoachRx, go ahead, start your free trial. We make the process really, really easy for you. It's 14 days to get in. My recommendation, even if you're not ready to put all your clients in there right away, is just put yourself in there, treat yourself as a client, and play around with all the features. On our website, we have a ton of free resources. We have a getting started guide that outlines how to use the systems, as well as a bunch of articles that you guys can use. And then our help center, which have some shorter videos and instructions to make sure that you're getting those systems set up successfully. So again, go ahead and get signed up for that free trial.